Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into something incredibly interesting. In just 48 hours following Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election, multiple major historical events unfolded that are being called the Trump effect. Today, we're going to cover 10 of these significant moments. I want you to keep one number in mind, number 3. Remember it, because it will be pivotal. As we move forward, it's essential to stay informed about what's going on in the world, both the good and the bad. I'll be bringing you updates, and you can always count on me to be transparent, just as I did with President Joe Biden when he was in office. That we're going to talk about everything happening now and moving forward, with Trump's return to the White House. So, hit that like button, it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Number 10. Trump names the first female chief of staff. Let's begin with a major historical moment that has already shaken the political landscape. Just after his victory, Donald Trump appointed Suzy Wess, his campaign co-director, as his chief of staff. This appointment is significant for several reasons. Wess, who will be the first woman ever to hold this powerful role, brings decades of political experience and has been a key figure in Trump's political campaigns. In a statement, Trump praised Wess for her strength, innovation, and universal respect, underlining that her appointment wasn't about gender, but about her skills and qualifications. Trump's choice stands in stark contrast to his past, as he had once been criticized for avoiding strong women in leadership roles. Before the election, billionaire businessman Mark Cuban made waves when he claimed that Trump found strong women intimidating. But clearly, Trump has proven that accusation wrong. This is an important moment because it shows that Trump doesn't fear strong, capable women in leadership roles, and he's chosen the best person for the job. It also reflects how Trump's administration will be defined not by promises to hire based on gender but by appointing the most qualified people, regardless of gender. Number 9. Taliban seeks removal from terrorist list. Moving on to the international stage, one of the most surprising reactions to Trump's victory came from the Taliban. In Afghanistan, the interim Taliban government expressed hope that the election of Trump would usher in a new chapter in U.S.-Afghan relations. A spokesperson for the Taliban's foreign ministry took to social media, stating that the Taliban hoped the Trump administration would adopt a pragmatic approach and build better relations. They referenced the peace agreement signed between the U.S. and the Taliban under Trump's previous presidency, which ended a 20-year occupation in Afghanistan. What's more, the Taliban is calling for the removal of their name from the U.S. State Department's list of terrorist organizations. Some analysts suggest that the Trump administration could potentially engage the Taliban in efforts to counterbalance other geopolitical challenges, particularly those involving the Middle East. This is a rare moment, considering the conflict in Afghanistan and the deep historical animosity between the U.S. and the Taliban. Trump's victory has thus raised questions about how his foreign policy will unfold in the region. Number 8. Putin shifts tone on the West and the global stage. One of the most significant developments was Russia's reaction. After Trump's victory, President Vladimir Putin made public statements that were seen as a major shift in his stance on the West. In a speech that caught many by surprise, Putin declared that Russia no longer views the West, particularly the U.S., as its enemy. He also praised Trump, calling him a man of courage, and noted that Trump had acted with dignity and bravery throughout his re-election campaign. But perhaps the most striking aspect of Putin's remarks was his emphasis on peace. Trump has always been critical of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict and has called for an end to the bloodshed. In fact, Trump has repeatedly stated that his goal is not to see a winner in the Russia-Ukraine war but to see peace restored as quickly as possible. Now, with Putin acknowledging the change in tone, there's hope that relations between the U.S. and Russia may take a turn for the better. This could be a crucial moment in the ongoing war in Ukraine, where many lives have been lost. Number 7. Mexico cracks down on migrant caravans turning to Latin America. Mexico's response to Trump's victory has been equally significant. The Mexican government announced it would continue to implement stringent measures to prevent migrant caravans from reaching the U.S. border. Mexican officials, including the foreign minister, pledged to maintain their tough stance on illegal immigration, especially after Trump's victory. Interestingly, Mexico's decision was not made in a vacuum. It comes after a series of tough negotiations between Trump and the Mexican government during his previous presidency. Trump had threatened to impose a 25% tariff on Mexican exports unless the country took stronger action to prevent migrant caravans from reaching the U.S. border. This move reflects Trump's continued hardline stance on immigration, which has been a central issue in his political career. In this instance, Mexico is aligning itself with Trump's approach, understanding the economic ties between the two countries and the need to keep illegal immigration in check. Number 6. New York City stops giving prepaid debit cards to immigrants. A significant local development came from New York City. The city announced it would stop providing prepaid debit cards to immigrants, which were previously used to buy food. This program, which had been set up to help migrant families living in city-funded hotels, has been controversial. Some people found that the food provided by the city wasn't culturally appropriate, leading the government to issue prepaid cards to allow families to buy food they preferred. However, after Trump's victory, the city decided to phase out this program. The decision was met with mixed reactions, as some saw it as a cost-saving measure, while others viewed it as a move to cut back on immigrant support. The decision was made as part of a broader push to reallocate resources to other programs aimed at assisting migrants in different ways. Number 5. China seeks peaceful coexistence with the U.S. Turning to the east, another crucial development was China's response to Trump's victory. In a move that surprised many, Chinese President Xi Jinping congratulated Trump on his re-election and expressed hopes that the two countries would be able to coexist peacefully. She emphasized the importance of stable relations between China and the U.S., suggesting that both nations should find a way to respect each other's differences and build a mutually beneficial relationship. This message from China is seen as a shift from the tension and competition that had characterized U.S.-China relations, especially under the Biden administration. Xi's remarks suggest that China is open to a more collaborative approach with the U.S. under Trump's leadership, signaling the possibility of a new phase in the bilateral relationship. Number 4. EU considers replacing Russian gas with U.S. supply in Europe. Another dramatic shift occurred. The European Union has signaled that it might replace its reliance on Russian gas with supplies from the United States. This statement came shortly after Trump's victory, with the European Commission president saying that the EU would prioritize American energy exports. The shift is largely driven by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the need to reduce Europe's dependence on Russian energy sources. This development highlights how Trump's foreign policy is already having a far-reaching impact. It also underscores how Europe is reconsidering its energy strategy in light of Russia's actions and the need for energy security. Number 3. Hamas and Netanyahu call for end to conflict now. Let's talk about what I've been referring to as number 3. This is a monumental moment. After Trump's victory, both Hamas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made public statements suggesting a desire to end the ongoing war in Gaza. Hamas, through its spokesperson, called for an immediate end to the conflict with Israel and announced that it was open to negotiations for a peaceful resolution. Meanwhile, Netanyahu, who had a close relationship with Trump during his first term, expressed optimism about working with the new administration to bring an end to the violence. The announcement from both parties has raised hopes that Trump's presidency could be the catalyst for peace in the Middle East. With his background in international negotiations and his previous efforts to broker peace deals, there's a genuine belief that Trump could help lead both sides toward a resolution. Number 2. Bitcoin reaches record high in the world of finance. Another stunning development came from the cryptocurrency market. Following Trump's victory, Bitcoin surged to a new all-time high, breaking the $75,000 mark. This price jump has been attributed to the belief that Trump's return to the White House will be beneficial for cryptocurrencies, as he has expressed a commitment to making the U.S. the global capital for crypto. Trump's administration had previously been seen as friendly to the crypto community, and his campaign even accepted donations in Bitcoin. His support for the digital currency has energized investors, and as a result, we're seeing a renewed bullish sentiment in the crypto market. Number 1. U.S. stock market hits record highs. And last but certainly not least, the U.S. stock market reached new heights following Trump's election victory. Major indices, including the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq Composite, all hit record highs. Investors are optimistic that Trump's return to power will bring about tax cuts, deregulation, and other pro-business policies. This surge in the stock market is another example of how Trump's victory has shaken up the status quo, and it's a clear sign that investors believe the economy will benefit from his policies. So, there you have it. These are the 10 major events that have already started shaping the future of the world in the days following Trump's victory. What do you think about these developments? Are you optimistic about the future under Trump's leadership, or do you have concerns? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.